Most SharePoint modernization projects are just expensive ways to move your problems to a new platform. Here's what typically gets migrated. A legacy estate that's grown organically over years. Teams created subsites to meet immediate needs. They copied permissions from older sites because it was faster than figuring out the right access model. They added external guests for a project and never removed them when the project ended. Custom workflows were built on SharePoint 2013 tooling that still technically functions but lacks the logging, change control, and visibility that modern governance requires. Retention rules are inconsistent or undocumented. Nobody can say with confidence which sites are active, who has access to what, or where regulated content actually lives. That entire environment gets picked up and moved to SharePoint Online. The old servers get retired, the documentation gets updated, and the project gets marked complete. But nothing about the governance model changed. SharePoint Online is a better platform, but a better platform running an ungoverned environment is still an ungoverned environment. The environment doesn't fail all at once. It degrades gradually. Teams can't find the latest controlled document, so they store copies somewhere else. IT handles a steady stream of tickets, escalations, and permission requests that consume time without improving anything. Legal hold and eDiscovery requests turn into manual excavation projects because retention rules are inconsistent or undocumented. There's also a deadline that most organizations haven't fully planned for. Microsoft removed SharePoint 2013 workflows from existing tenants on April 2nd, 2026 with no extension. Organizations still running those workflows will have to choose between rushing a fix, accelerating the entire migration, or simply taking processes offline. A modernization roadmap that's already in motion absorbs that deadline. Without one, it becomes an emergency. So the question isn't whether to modernize. Most organizations have already accepted that. The question is whether modernization means migration or transformation. Because migration without governance redesign just moves the problems. Transformation means defining the operating model first and then deciding what to do with the legacy content. That operating model has three components. First, a clear division of labor between SharePoint Online, Microsoft Teams, and OneDrive. SharePoint Online anchors structured content and governs collaboration spaces. Teams handles daily communication, with files stored in SharePoint-backed locations. OneDrive supports personal work and device syncing, but doesn't become a long-term archive. When that model is clear, users stop asking where things should go and start following a repeatable pattern. IT can apply governance consistently across the environment rather than chasing exceptions after the fact. Second, a hub-based information architecture that replaces deep subsite hierarchies. Modern SharePoint uses hub sites to organize content and navigation at scale. Sites align with business functions, programs, or departments, and hubs connect them according to organizational structure. Role-based workspaces reinforce least privilege and reduce oversharing. When workspaces follow a defined pattern, permission groups, ownership models, and approval workflows apply consistently. IT stops managing access one user at a time and starts managing access through roles and policies. Third, governance built into the environment from the start rather than added after migration. Site provisioning ensures new workspaces are created through governed templates with defined ownership, naming conventions, data sensitivity classifications, and external sharing requirements. Retention policies map to regulatory requirements and apply automatically through content types and labels. Permission models default to inheritance rather than unique permissions, so access stays explainable and reversible. Once the target operating model is defined, then the legacy content goes through a decision framework. First, retire sites and content that no longer serve the business, with defensible retention rules for what gets removed. Then replace legacy solutions like outdated workflows with Power Automate or Power Apps. Rebuild sites that have heavy customization blocking modern governance but still carry business value. And finally, migrate sites that already align with the target model with clean permissions and predictable navigation. That decision framework is what separates modernization from migration. Migration assumes everything moves. The decision framework asks whether each site, each workflow, and each content collection deserves to move and in what form. The sequencing matters as much as the decisions. It's not just about risk management. It's also about keeping the business running. Teams don't stop working because a modernization project is underway. Each phase has to be scoped so that the people using those workspaces experience minimal disruption while the environment underneath them gets rebuilt correctly. Start with a pilot phase to validate templates, hub structure, and governance gates with a limited scope. Move to priority workspaces with the highest business value or compliance risk. Then migrate remaining workspaces using repeatable patterns that have been proven in earlier phases. Each phase includes governance gates for ownership validation, naming rules, permissions, retention, and external access. The modern environment stays governed as it scales rather than accumulating the same problems the legacy environment had. The measure of success isn't whether the migration is complete. It's whether the new environment can do what the old one couldn't. Clear ownership, explainable access, consistent retention, and the ability to produce audit evidence without manual reconstruction. If the modernized environment delivers that, project worked. If not, all you did was move the files. After nearly 30 years of integrating Microsoft systems for mid to large enterprises and regulated industries, we've led modernization programs that start with the operating model, not the migration plan, and are phased so the business keeps running while the environment gets rebuilt. The full blog post with the complete decision framework, governance design, and phased roadmap is linked in the description. Migration moves your content. Modernization fixes the model. Don't spend the budget on the wrong one.